Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Yes, that's right. It's time for Sarcastic Distractions, the interesting podcast for interesting people, featuring, as always, the Gentleman Society of Podcasting. Myself, Harvey, my heterosexual life mate, Dave,
hello,
and the ever-loving, ever-reaping AJ.
Do boo boo do boo ba do ba do.
Oh,
Nevermore.
I went from dour to okay, rockabilly. Let's do it. Love it. I love it.
You gotta have a little Johnny Cash.
Yeah, you gotta have something going on for sure. Yeah. And if you couldn't figure it out, that's exactly what we're talking about today. We are talking about what happens when we shake our mortal coil and move on to wherever that expire.
Yes.
Well, that's just the whole thing. Like, what happens when?
What happens?
Yes. Actually, it's funny. It just hit me now. Shit. We were just talking about children. We should have like a death, taxes, childbirth, the three things.
Oh,
not in this episode.
The three things.
Yeah, that's like a 9-hour episode.
Yeah. Well, we'll do death today. We can do taxes.
Those other two things are things that are just inevitable.
Well, that's what I mean.
Children aren't inevitable.
That's fair. Death, taxes, and childbirth.
Because Chris still has to pay taxes and die.
Yeah,
that's
for
true.
your damn children, kids. I might add.
Well, he doesn't specifically have the children, but he gets to experience through others in some way.
That's true. Sure, yeah. What an experience it's been.
No, we're going to do this. So this is our death episode, everybody, and we will follow up with the future taxes.
Okay.
And there are some fine people we do know that are either with or have had
Nikki's going to take my place during the taxes episode because I don't numbers.
Okay. All right.
I know nothing. I know nothing of taxes. All I know is they take my tax return to pay off my OSAP loan.
All right.
That's all I know.
That's good.
Oh yeah, that's normal.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with this.
Yeah, that's
because
basically
I
it.
don't work enough to make enough back.
To pay.
Fair.
Yeah.
Right? They're gonna give me like $40 or some shit every year. Like, no, whatever.
No, nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Take my 40.
That's a fun little series. We will do those too.
Well, I'm thinking just
sure.
for the shits of it. Why not?
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. Anyway, but today is all about death.
Today is all about death, the morbid topic of us not being here anymore.
Is it about death or after death?
Well, that's more what I was
yeah.
thinking. Because again, death to me is, and I mean this in the nice way, there are different ways of dying. This is, but of course, true. There is the quick, it's over.
There's not one way to die.
No,
there's lots of ways.
There's 1,000 ways to die.
There's 1,000 ways. Okay.
Yeah. I'm more in the 999, but
999 ways to die.
But yeah, to me, it's more just about that afterlife. Like, you know, and again, the way, from my perspective, there's really those two coins, I guess, for me. It's that, what is it that you really wish was the way to die, or that you would love for to be after death, a better way to phrase this? And what do you actually think after death is?
Okay, so what's the hope and what
do you perceive as the reality? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because again, it's one of those things that, at least for me personally, I do know what I would love death to be in the sense of the after death, the afterlife.
Yeah.
But I also really, if I'm being honest, I know what I would love it to be ain't true, and I have my perspective on what it actually is.
Grounded to reality.
Yeah, one of those things.
Grounded in reality.
We can all agree that the Mormons are right. So after death is just knocking on doors.
Oh, hell yeah. That's
is that
great.
what it is?
And handing out,
pamphlets?
or the Bible,
Oh, the Bible.
the book,
Yeah.
the Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can all agree on this, right?
No.
I honestly don't know.
And that God is like a fucked up little platypus thing.
I mean, I think God's whatever you want him to be.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Yeah.
really think that's, yeah.
But and that's a good point too, right? Like, I guess we have 2 to 3 different belief systems in this room, so that's another.
Well, yeah, the
difference
belief
there
systems
as well.
can involve themselves as well, certainly.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I know for me personally, I'll kick off with what I would love it to be. And then I guess we can do that. Then we can do what we actually think it is. I have to admit, for me, and it's from that television show that I should have looked up the name, where you kind of get to go and just experience that different varieties. Can you imagine after
You're
death?
talking about The Good Place.
The Good Place, yeah.
That's
Funny, every time, this is about the 4th time he's mentioned
I know.
that
And
show,
he couldn't remember the name?
I know. Remember the name.
He fucking loves the show so much he can't remember the name.
proper nouns and I just
such
don't
good
mix.
show.
Proper
It's
nouns.
good show. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's shit.
But that idea, I have to admit, like, that would be amazing. I've always had that
Yeah.
idea even before the show, that I would love just to be able to go back and relive my life, parts
Right.
of it, but of course, not in the entire thing. But, being able to just, Yeah, you get to go try out different things, do experience all that lovely thing. Fuck, that'd be awesome.
Hell yeah.
And then eventually just, yep, thank you, bye-bye.
Yeah. So whenever you're done with all this, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to go walk into...
So that would be
that.
For me, that ideal perfect. But I have to admit, I'd even just be happy with that, as I already called out. Just get to go back. Hey, Dave, all right, you get to go and just, go and relive some of your years. Which ones would you like?
Yeah.
Go play them again.
I'll take year 8.
Yeah, that's just
year
it.
21.
to 22.
To 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 26.
But you're saying this, and I've never thought about this before, but you guys are saying this, and it's like, you've lived a life. Right?
Yes.
And the afterlife is still a life, right? So why would you want to go back when you could still continue?
Well, no,
because
that's another perspective.
Just because you're dead, doesn't mean you're not continuing. You're just continuing somewhere else, or on another plane or dimension or multiverse or reality or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
No.
So instead of going back and reliving those times where there's that chance, because you're always going to relive times, right? You have a memory.
Yes, so that's fair.
If something sad happened, you're always going to remember, hey, that sad thing happened. Oh, that was a bummer. But if you go back and relive that, you're actually going to feel that pain or that happiness. I mean, happiness would be good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you're going to feel that feeling as you felt it in the moment.
Yes.
So instead of it being a memory that you've possibly dealt with, right? Like, say I went back in time and it was to a point where Toby was still alive, right? And then
shout out to Toby.
Shout out to Toby. Respect. Pour one out for Toby.
I'm doing it right now.
Not in the studio.
What? Oh, okay. What about on the soundboard? Can I do it on the soundboard?
No. But you're getting my point, right? Like,
I think so.
Like, so you go back and
you're
you
sad about reliving that because you know what's going to happen,
right? And it's something that already happened. It's not.
Yes.
If you're understanding, if you're conscious that way, it's like that Scrooged or It's a Wonderful Life kind of scenario where
or now Spirited
or Spirited, where you're going back and you're like, oh well, fuck that happened. I can't do that again, right? Because maybe you don't have that option where you are. You can't do that thing. So yeah,
I see how you perceive it as negative, but
I just feel like the continuation of doing other experiencing other things, and doing
that's more
other
like
things
Good Place
in that afterlife.
Yeah, and that's more of the Good Place scenario. But I have to admit, I would be perfectly.
But
they
still had their creature comforts that they were.
Yeah, I'd still love to go back.
Their houses that they lived in and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like I would love to go back, and even knowing some of the other shit that goes on. Yeah, people that maybe I'd see back then but wouldn't see now. Yeah. I don't know.
Would you be okay? Would you be okay to live out those parts of your life as you already knew them, or would you want to experience them fresh again?
Oh, and I guess that is the one good question. And to be honest, I would love to go relive them knowing. I guess I can't change anything.
So almost like you're watching, but you're there.
Yeah,
I feel like that would be another level of bummer. Because I'd like to go back.
My heart just sank a little bit thinking about that.
Know what I know now, but not be able to do anything about it.
But that's to me again. It's good experience. That's just it. I would only want to go back for the good experiences in life. I wouldn't go back in something that I did wrong or something I saw done.
So you basically want the afterlife to be a holodeck.
Yes, that's of my life, basically. Yes.
Well, of your life or whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah. But of my life, because again, I would love it.
Yeah,
maybe I've just had a really good life. Shit.
You lived a pretty good life.
I did.
From my perspective.
Yeah. Well, I do know there are certain areas and times. No, I'll pass.
Sure, yeah, you could
fast forward.
Fuck that. No way.
But you can. We could argue this forever.
Yeah,
that's I love this one point.
I know.
Literally, because again, I'm just thinking of. See now, if there was no going on, no other experiences, no future after death, let's say, then yes, I would take comfort in reliving nostalgic events. But if there were, if it's what certain people or certain cultures or whatever believe, if I'm going up and I can jam with John Bonham and Kurt Cobain, fuck you, I'm not coming back.
What if
because I can experience
But what if they're dicks
other
in heaven?
things.
And so
what if they're
remember-
dicks?
But
Well, then I'll go find somebody else to jam.
But
with.
that's just
okay.
it. Remember that. This is what we're talking about today. So for me, I'd be happy just to go back and relive those moments up to a point and still be able to hand in my car and say, cool, I'm done. I don't want to do it forever. Like that one I know for sure.
Sure.
Excuse me. But in your case, as you're just describing, you would rather be able to go and interact and play and do things that you could never do, maybe.
I think I'd want to see people not being sad, but how they moved on. Like I'd want to be able to,
Oh, I got
you know, look in whatever you look in, or look down, or look up,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
look sideways, or whatever, and see how Nikki and Max are. How
Gotcha.
if I were to expire now.
Yeah,
let's
that's a
say,
fair.
right?
I like
guess
that.
when I'm older, it's more.
It's a
moot,
bit
'cause
different.
Like, okay,
Please
you got
don't.
2 years, and I'll see you.
Please don't. We got to get this episode out. Please don't, AJ. Don't.
But yeah,
Well, we
you
can
know
still
what?
release the episode.
That's
but
true. We will.
I think I'd probably be bummed that I wasn't there.
I got you.
But yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I
See,
feel like that's the purpose of a memory.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of having a memory. You've experienced it. You've done that.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's just one of those I would want to go relive it because one challenge, and again, I do actually understand your perspective, and that's actually a good idea. I'd be cool with that. The only problem is it's just one of those you start to experience it, and something happens, decisions are made, and you're like, if I was there.
Yeah.
What about reliving it with the possibility to change it, but only for that, like not for real?
I got
right?
you.
Like in a holodeck
Yeah,
scenario, right? Where it's like
It could
you're
be
just,
fine.
You're just reliving the scenario and being like,
What if I did
oh, man,
this?
I should have bought Boardwalk instead of buying fucking Mediterranean in that fun game of Monopoly that we had.
But what would be the point?
And it holds no real consequence
Yeah.
because it's fun.
Okay.
Because you're having fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
If this is quote unquote heaven,
I wouldn't give it
or
that name per se.
whatever, or Happy Land, I don't give a fuck.
It's my perspective.
If it's Imagination Land, I don't give a fuck what it's called.
Yeah.
If it's the good place, then you can just do.
Okay.
Right? You can
Okay.
just you
I
can
understand
do
your
what you want
perspective.
without affecting reality
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's, I guess,
or
I would-
other people's reality.
I have to admit, so if I got proposed with that as a potential option, I'd probably take it, but it would be one of those, can you give me like a cheat sheet of what the actual choice was? Because I may not remember, and so I don't get to relive what I
Like,
want
oh,
to
that's the
relive.
thing.
Oh, fuck. I did the same thing twice. Damn it.
You get to watch the video and then do it.
Oh, okay, that's
I mean,
fair.
you have that choice.
That's true.
But again, it wouldn't affect it.
Well, no, that's
like
just it.
a future
Yeah,
time travel sort of.
yeah, no, I wouldn't want that either. Because I have to, again, for me personally, it really just comes down to I would love to pick certain moments, relive them just for the shits and giggles, and then kick the bucket.
Because yeah, I guess I wouldn't mind reliving moments. Like I would definitely leave moments alone that were obviously
God,
fine, like you know, the birth of my kid, blah 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 blah. But like, hey, what would have happened if I was talking to that guy and I hadn't have said that? You know, like
I
those sort
gotcha.
of what if moments,
what
like
if.
completely
Sure.
trivial, like
yeah.
Like, what if I did get in that limo with those girls? What happened?
right.
Well, no, I
Right.
do
What
actually.
if I did get on that bus with all those Hawaiian Tropic models
Right.
and asked me to oil them up that one time when I was hitchhiking with my friend after we just got through a giant adventure? No, wait, that was Dumb and Dumber.
No, I actually do understand your perspective because there are, and it's always that human mind, such a wonderful thing where small little things that you're like, they stick in your brain about, I did that. Like, oh my God, did I really mess that person up accidentally? Like, a girl that I went, when I was in high school, we went on a date to a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I never talked to her again. She tried to call, she tried to send emails.
Oh, you ghosted her
I
before
did.
that was even a
And then we
term?
went and she came to high school with us. I forget her name now.
It's funny because as soon as you said that, I was like, there was this little thing.
Erin Harper. Oh, I shouldn't say her last name.
Oh, yes.
It's all right.
remember.
There's this young
Shout
lady
out to
that,
Erin. She's
that we
good
went
people.
to school with, and she was this tiny little thing.
Hmm.
Like, if you were to draw a picture of what a fairy or a pixie probably looks like, that was this girl. She was the same age as us,
nice.
but she was like perpetually 10.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right? Sweet, innocent little girl. We introduced her to marijuana.
Oh
And-
no.
So you made her life better.
Oh wow, no, we didn't.
Oh,
make
no.
her, like she was probably one of the only people I've ever met that marijuana was a gateway
Oh, Lord.
to
Others.
other things.
Gotcha.
Like
She had
to the point where
things
6
backed
months
up.
later it was like, hey, where'd you go for 3 days? Oh, I was on a peyote trip.
Okay.
Shit.
Yeah,
She went on
dude.
finding herself. Okay.
So Yeah,
Yeah.
what if we never gave her
What if
marijuana?
what if you had just
What if we never
no.
offered it to her?
Yeah,
like, no,
I got
honey, stay you.
Yeah.
You know, the way you are now.
See, I have a different philosophy. I think it's all about choices, and if it wasn't you, it would have been somebody else, and she would have made those choices regardless.
And then I would see that. I would see that
Yeah,
That's
in
just
my
so.
in my
I think
holodeck.
so.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you would, yeah.
Oh, your after death holiday.
Again, it's that whole what if scenario. I think I'd play that game. I'd probably be more.
you know what?
playing
I'm starting to
playing
understand.
the what if scenario game
Yeah.
as opposed to
Just to
reliving.
relive.
Yeah.
I do understand the what if, but at the very least, just that would be awesome just to relive certain moments.
Yeah.
Or like you could even go and see, like, you were doing this over here,
Oh,
and this was happening over here, and you could go over here and see that conversation.
Right.
You know,
just
like,
float around.
yeah,
Your
like-
perspective, be a ghost.
yeah.
What about you, Chris?
Everybody.
But be a ghost, but not be a ghost. Be a ghost in your
Sure.
own life.
A specter.
Hmm.
Okay. I don't know. So
We're still on what we want it to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
so to both your perspectives, my only issue is our memories are assholes, and they don't necessarily
I
reflect.
keep mine tidy, but
I know you do.
Yeah.
They don't.
I
They,
get
like
where you're going.
really, our memories are like we use them to preserve certain understandings of our life and how to put things together, and rarely. Whenever you invite somebody in to discuss that memory, rarely does it match up with what your actual memory is.
And this-
So my concern is to go back and relive them. I'm probably going to be more disappointed than happy.
I'm gonna agree with you there
And-
because of the fact of it was a Mythbusters thing where they did the criminal,
Right.
and then they had like 7 people or something like that try to describe him, and everybody described him differently.
Yeah.
So, but would you relive the memory that you remember because you've constructed
Again,
essentially you've somewhat constructed a memory that appeals to you?
I don't
as
know.
a person,
I don't-
right? So
I don't
would you
think
relive
so.
yours or the real one?
yeah, I don't know.
That's a good question.
I don't
That's a good
know.
point.
And then to change it seems like, well, in my mind, I might say, oh, I would never change any memory. But in the moment, if I saw there was a point change, oh, yeah, no, let's change that. Let's change that. Let's fix
tweak.
this. Let's fix this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Make it all perfect, right? Because that's,
Mhm.
that's where my mindset would be at. So I like the idea of replaying my life from a memory perspective. So that way I can
Gotcha.
have that,
tweak it.
tweak. Yeah. That,
But again,
that
your
love.
memory or the actual event.
So, okay, my ego says my memory, right? But if I'm like digging deep, I'd actually like to know the actual events. I'd like to know what significance I had in my own life, if that makes any sense.
Oh, I kind of grok. Yeah, no, I
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I have to admit,
So you'd want to go back and judge your own life.
yes.
Yeah,
'Cause
without
that-
doing anything about it,
I
but
want
to judge
the
it.
real.
Yeah.
I would want the real because, and again, there may be those moments where I'm like, oh crap, that wasn't nearly, and I'm thinking of some of those teenager times.
Sure.
That wasn't nearly as much actual real fun that I have in my memory.
Right,
But
right.
I'm sure on the other side of that coin, there will be times where I'm like, shit, this was actually a lot more beautiful than
I
even my
have a way
perspective.
for you to
Mhm.
do this now.
Hmm.
Just walk around with a GoPro on your head.
That's true.
But that's
People just
other
recording their
people's
lives.
perspectives, right?
No, that's your perspective though.
But it's not your feelings, your thoughts at that instant.
And then you
But
bring,
whatever you hear,
but then you bring editing into it and
but
all that stuff.
but things like
Curate the life you want.
scent memory doesn't count, but audio memory. So anything you hear is going to trigger the feeling that you felt in that moment. Right? Like the first time you heard a song that means a lot to you, you still feel that way that you did 20 years ago when you heard that song.
Yeah, I don't know. For me,
I still feel the same way about Stairway to Heaven as I did
Yeah.
20 years ago and 700 listens.
I have to admit, for me, I'm different. I don't have like the songs, the things I love have changed over my life. Like what I would have loved when I was 10 is very different than what I love now. And I
But
don't.
that conversation that you had that made you feel a certain way, like the first time your wife said, I love you. If you were to videotape that, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're still going to feel that.
Yeah.
You're still going to feel that feeling,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yes, I see where you're going with this. So you're right. There are other moments, but I guess it's just the video camera on my head. I'm like, no, I want to go relive it, not
Yeah.
just
Okay,
watch
then
it.
put it on your chest.
Oh,
Body cam.
body cam it
And it's
everywhere.
all like, fuck, get that video out of here. Oh shit, it's
So-
uploaded to the cloud. Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to relive it, not just watch it. And I don't know how else to describe that.
Yeah.
So I guess we're going back to Dave's point here for a second.
I don't think we've left Dave's point.
No,
I think
we
we're
really
still on
haven't.
this point.
So to relive it, you'd have to not know it.
That's fine. That's what I'm saying. To me,
That's why I asked him that.
Yeah.
Did you want to experience it fresh
but
or
the-
not?
But,
And
the,
I
but
said-
the answer was to go back and know it.
No.
And that's what
But that was your answer, was to know it, but not be able to do anything about it.
What I would like to do, and I think there is a thing like this already, so I'm kind of stealing from something I don't know. I'd love to have a room where you get to have the book and you basically get to choose. It is a story. There's a novel like this. You get to choose where you'd like to go back to. But when I go back there, I just relive it.
But you relive it with the memory, or you relive it so you relive it fresh?
Yeah, that's really what I would love. That is the type of thing I would like. I still want to have control in the sense of I would like to go back to this time-ish. Oh, yeah, about there. Have the book in front of me. I have book because, I'm old.
Yeah.
It'll
be,
like, I'd like to go from
TV
about
or
this
something.
date to this date, please, and just relive. Come back. And the one catch is, to your point, I guess, while I'm there, I don't want to know anything. I just want to live it. But when I come back, I want to have the memories of right now of what I remember from redoing it.
Okay,
Got you.
I get
Got
you.
you.
Yeah. If that,
Gotcha.
yeah. Okay. Good. All right.
Yeah.
I've explained.
That makes sense. And that would be okay. And then you would just decide when you want to go.
Exactly. And when I'm done, I've gone through the book. There might be a few where I do it a few times, go back
then-
every so often, but
so then-
eventually.
So then that begs another question: what's after that?
And again, we'll get to that.
But no, because that would be
From your perspective.
But that would be a continuation.
So
that would be your afterlife. What's after afterlife?
Well, the afterlife
So your
actually.
afterlife is what you just explained.
Yes. So the afterlife is actually what I think reality is.
I will get there in a bit. I
Yes.
get it now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to jump too far ahead.
I'm back.
We're trying to get back to you now. What was it you would
Yeah.
love to do or have in your afterlife? What is it you would, and again, ignore what's reality or what you
And
really
What
believe.
is reality?
And I do
It's a
have-
joke
fair.
these days.
And I do have a question.
Sure.
Does your reality, not your reality, but does your want, your hope, not your hope, the one we're talking about, does that involve the Jesus and the God?
Yeah.
Being somebody
So
who's
for listeners
spiritual in
out
that
there,
sense.
I do identify as a Christian. So that's what AJ's going on. Yes. I don't know. Okay. It's gonna sound weird, and I got to sort this through this.
Yeah, I'm going to say we kind of put you really on the
Bear
spot,
with
didn't
me.
we?
I aside from the whole Godhead thing, Jesus, Holy Spirit, and God all being one, if there's a heaven, here's how I think it works. I think when you go to kind of what we were just talking about, you actually do judge your life, and you decide.
Okay, that's
where you
interesting.
go. That's
interesting.
That's-
That's an
this
interesting
isn't in the
thought.
Bible, folks. This is not something that is. This is just my own personal
this isn't the Book of
summarization.
Mormon.
No, yeah, this is just my own thing, and I think
But
it's.
no, that's an interesting.
I think that's what it is. It's like you go through your life, however that looks, however that fits you, and you decide whether or not, or where you should go, what you should do, and based off that decision is, kind of what happens.
Is there any chance for? And I mean, this is obviously all theoretical.
Sure,
Based
all
off-
of this is.
Based off,
Yes.
based off what you're saying, is there a way to repent? Like, if you go through your life and say you did something that could potentially send you to hell,
Sure.
send you to hell. Do you have a chance to go, holy fuck, I fucked up, and not go to hell?
I mean, if
Or-
theoretically anything's possible,
Or like the Buddhists believe, right, with the whole karma and blah 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 blah.
Sure.
You only go for an X amount of time to the bad place
yeah,
until that
Until you've served your
until that
sentence.
karmic value.
I mean,
there's a sense, as
secretly-
opposed to eternal hell.
Yeah.
secretly speaking, I have a hard time believing that if there is a God, that he would want the creations that he made to suffer for all of eternity. So
That's
I don't
that's
think,
also a very good point.
I don't think that anybody goes to hell.
I think actually, Hal, and again, my perspective is that you actually don't go anywhere. You're stuck being a ghost on Earth. Can't interact, can't talk, can't do anything.
We're going to get there. I haven't had my turn yet.
That to me is hell.
That
Can you
would
imagine
that would be fucking absolute torment.
Yes.
I agree. I can't think of a worse way. Like that one. Remember that one Star Trek TNG episode? I think it was Geordi or Data.
They were
and the
invisible
girl.
and couldn't interact.
Yeah. I felt like, oh my God, that would be the worst ever. It's like,
it would be.
It would be. It's like all your friends,
You're
everybody's doing
seeing
stuff.
Everything that's happening, but you can't interact, touch, like nothing.
That would be so
It would be pure
torturous.
hell.
That's kind of like what I said, but I feel like I'm giving myself the choice to look away. Whereas in that situation, I feel like you're just kind of like, fuck.
Yeah, you're done.
Like you could go to another room and not hang out with your buddies.
But you're still there.
That's still there.
Yeah,
You're still there.
Exactly.
You don't sleep.
Whereas if you're where I'm going, it's like, oh yeah, okay, Nikki and Max are great. I'm gonna go have fun and do this over here now.
Yeah.
Right? And kind of get your mind off of it or whatever. But in that scenario, it's more like you're just kind of.
It's like the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze.
Yes.
Right? You're kind of fucked.
But to answer your question about repentance,
So I have a question based off of what you just said, though. It was based off of what you just said.
Okay.
So Charlie Manson is just in the same place as Mother Teresa.
So let me get into this question about repentance.
Okay.
This will answer your question. I think in the
gonna ask
analysis of your life, if you decide that you are not worthy or fit to enter heaven, then you have the opportunity to repent. What that looks like, I don't know. I'm not sure. That's not up for me to decide.
Does that work for psychotic people, though? So, like I said, like Charlie Manson, for instance, somebody who believed they didn't do anything wrong.
Well, now we're getting into...
So they see all the stuff that they did. They see the murders. They see this. They see that. And they still look at St. Peter or whoever is opening the doors.
Sure.
I didn't do anything wrong. I'm
Right.
fine with what I did. I think I should go
Well,
to heaven.
even though you're judging it, God is still the ultimate,
So he
gateway.
can do the thing.
well, again, I don't know. I'm not here to say that. I'm just saying
we're working with
what
your
I
theory, though.
right, my theory.
So within your theory,
boy, I feel like I'm
Yeah, we'll
getting,
get to
this
reality
fucking
on the
hour
next
long-
phase.
Wait, Chris, wait, I got one more question. Wait, before you go on.
yeah, questions.
Awesome, I know.
Questions.
I don't know what that looks like. I would say that's a conversation between Charles Manson and God, which probably has already happened if that's because he's now no longer here. But I mean, if you have no remorse over the bad things you've done in your life, maybe it is a ghost-like state. Maybe it's some sort of purgatory. Maybe it's something. I don't know. I think it's really fucked that we try to put physical limitations on the afterlife. We like to do that. We like to say, you can only do this or you can only do that, which makes no sense because now we're talking about literally anything.
Yeah.
And yet, but you can only stay in this one place.
Right.
In my personal opinion, if heaven does exist, I think it's just the beginning. What's after that? I don't know, but I think heaven's just the beginning.
So there might be like an after.
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
When we get to heaven,
yeah.
we get to heaven, we'll have a podcast there, and we'll have a similar
there you go. We'll just continue Sarcastic Distractions from heaven. Right?
the saintly society.
Yeah, exactly. But in heaven, we don't have to worry about audio editing or video editing. It's just done.
Oh yeah, the dead engineers do it for me.
For sure. Exactly. The dead engineers. But if, let's say, heaven does exist and I make my way there, I think how it operates is very much like the good place, but it's your perspective. So it's whatever you want it to be, right? It's whatever you desire, and it never, ever compromises anybody else's because they're doing whatever it is they want to do.
Desire
those things good.
Desire to a point, like desire within the confines of morality.
Yeah, if you desire to rape everybody in heaven, I don't think you can do that.
Okay.
But if a bunch of people want to have intercourse with you, then yeah, I don't see why that would be.
So you can have orgies. You can have orgies in heaven.
But then, yeah, exactly. But then the other problem is, like, again, physical limitations. Like we talk about sex as if it's like something fucking great. It's only great here on Earth.
It's a Demolition Man scenario. Man. There's no physical. It's all mental, man.
Yeah,
you're wearing crazy headsets.
You know
That's what the halos are.
I have
dude.
to admit, if this heaven thing comes about, I am sure it's one of those things. The person comes in the door and you realize, oh, I can do anything. Another happy person that you find attractive walks in. You two bang it off and realize, no, this is already boring. Let's do some other things.
Something else. Yeah, exactly. Because really, like we all love sex. If you don't, you're not human. But like, it's really just a bunch of physical sensations and impulses, which is great now. But I mean,
eventually you're going to realize, wait a minute, like I might still, throw back every so
Yeah,
often. Let's just,
for sure.
for the kicks of it.
like I think I love skateboarding. I hope to God I can skateboard in heaven. But do I really? Like, is skateboarding going to be as much fun when there's no like physical danger on the line?
Danger.
Yeah, or you know what I mean? Like, is it really going to be
hoverboarding?
Yeah, which is cool, but is it going to be like, you know what I mean? Is it going to have that same
I got
sensation?
your perspective.
Yeah. So I think heaven becomes a grounding point for something else. Whatever that something else is, I don't fucking know. I have no idea. It's not talked about, nor I've not died and come back. So I couldn't tell you exactly, right? So I just feel like, yeah, if that's a thing. And yeah, that's a nice idea. That's a nice thought.
Oh yeah,
but
this is our section.
Yeah,
It's the
exactly.
first step to becoming a thetan.
Yeah, would be.
Is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely know whatever happened, you go hang out with Xenu, for sure. That definitely happens.
You can't hang out with Xenu.
Oh, right,
He's
no,
the
you
one
can't.
who killed all of them.
That's true.
He's the bad guy.
Well, maybe in heaven
You
he's
can't
the
hang
good
out-
guy.
He's the Darth Vader of this whole scenario.
He's the devil.
When we talk about Scientology, yes,
Yes.
people will understand that reference.
For sure, yeah. So I don't know, but I also I have enough blockage on my ego to realize that's all shit inside my head, and I also know that it's.
Oh, well, hang on. Yeah, we're going to get to reality.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like, yeah.
Or what we believe
For
is
sure.
reality.
Like, I'm the kind of guy. That's for a shout out to our boy Malcolm. He'll get that when he listens to this. I'm the kind of guy that, yes, I pray, and I believe I'm praying to a God and all that stuff, but I'm also not psychotic enough to believe that I might just be praying to myself. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's just something that I'm, you know what I mean? Yeah. So.
Yeah, society based on where you're at, what you're part of. Yeah.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
I'm experiencing
Based off
life
of
from
certain
my
cultures,
perspective.
It makes sense to me. Praying
Yeah.
to yourself, being that you are the entity, the God, the Buddha.
Sure.
Right?
Well,
because that's how Buddhists operate, right? They're not praying to
Christians
an outside
do.
God.
Christians do too.
Like
Christians,
the Holy
right?
Spirit,
Yep,
right?
That's
Yeah.
within them and all that jazz. So, so I'm just saying that, like, I'm not.
But wait, hold on.
So egotistical to
We're not
believe that,
talking
you know.
about that. Never mind.
No, we're not. Okay.
No, we're not going to go.
I had it. Yeah.
Is God
but
watching me
we'll-
while I masturbate? Probably. He's probably giving me
We
pointers.
can talk about that. We can talk about that. No, I was saying the Holy Spirit thing because that's the Holy Spirit is an entity that is
Right.
in you,
Yep.
but it is not you.
Right.
Buddhism, you're praying to you
Right.
as the entity.
Yeah.
So that's completely that's
I have
Yeah.
no clue.
Yeah.
Personally,
I don't know
I have
how
no idea. I'm not a
much of a
religion guy.
knowledge base
Yeah.
that I can throw at that, and we're all experts, obviously.
100%. I'm a theological fucking major.
But I would.
Based on your Google
Yeah,
searches.
but so
Wikipedia.
I'm
thank
gonna
you.
bastardize this a little bit, but there's something to be said that even though it's the Holy Spirit, you are God, God is you. So you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So
okay,
you are
okay,
technically
okay,
praying.
okay.
What I'm trying to say is,
So much math in Christianity.
I know. What I'm trying to say is, I'm not beholden to the fact that if someone was to say, "Oh, by the way, there, emphatically there is no God," is like, "Oh, okay, well then, yeah, I've just been praying to my own thing." I still find
Which I don't think
joy
is
in
a,
it.
I was going to say, which I don't think is a negative
Oh,
thing, specifically if you've, like you say, found joy and positivity and
Yeah.
and whatever out of that act.
mm-hmm.
Like you're saying, if somebody comes to you and says, "Here is the physical proof that
Sure.
this entity doesn't exist on this scroll,"
yeah, right. Or the
here,
videotape.
here, have it on GoPro video.
I'm going to say yes.
I've been there.
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna be like,
motherfucker.
I thought you were
I
like,
know.
on a beta tape. I don't even have a beta player. What the fuck?
Well, here's a laser disc.
Oh,
instead.
okay. Hi.
But yeah, no, I don't think that should be a point of any sort of contention or negativity. If
Sure.
for some reason that is ever to come to light, which
Yeah, maybe, who knows?
obviously,
humans need spirituality for lots of reasons. Whether it's real, whether it's not, it's important to our existence, and I'm trying to identify that and make it so that it helps rather than hinders. That's
I
all.
think
Cool.
whether it's outward or inward, it's the same.
Yeah.
As long as it leads you down the same path of,
Mhm.
Being a good human.
Are you okay? Sorry.
Apparently.
and belching bubbly.
Yeah, apparently.
Because like whether it's believing
If
in
I was a
God or
horrible-
believing in yourself, as long as you're a good person and you believe in yourself, I guess that's not a shitty thing.
That is true.
Right?
Yeah.
Your burp there
I
was
have
just God
many-
showing his power over you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's exactly what that.
or is that God smiting us? Pu.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
So you
thought-
think you postulate that there's an after?
Yeah. Like
Nice.
I don't know how to describe it, but I'm almost confident there is. If there's all this exists, I'm near confident.
After.
Yeah.
After.
Yeah. But like, I mean, you got to remember a lot of that stuff was written by people and people. Anyways,
People are
whatever.
people.
People
Yeah.
are people. Exactly. Exactly.
What about you, AJ? Anything else to add for yours?
What do I hope?
Hope, want, dream, love, would prefer? Depends on your perspective.
Yeah, I guess just a place where goodness is.
Nice.
Not
Nice.
necessarily the whole good place theory
Yeah.
or heaven or any of that. I don't know, just I guess a place where you can, do you in a good way.
Gotcha.
Right?
Mhm.
Like, this is how I'm feeling today.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, you wake up or whatever you do, whatever happens.
Go
there,
chit-chat,
right?
play
And then
drums,
it's like, yeah,
sing a
I'm
song.
gonna do this.
Do a
and,
dance.
Hang
Nice.
out.
do
Yeah.
do me and
Relax.
Make it
and,
love.
and
Get
I
down
guess
tonight.
not having any responsibilities or any sort of circumstances surround, like if I choose to sit here, get high all day and play video games and ignore everything else going on around me, there's no negative connotation to that.
So in
nobody's
your-
going to put me down, nobody's going to say you didn't do this, nobody's going to
So in your version, heaven or whatever the afterlife is an opportunity to just play through your back catalog and no one bugs you.
I was about to
If
say
you
the
want it,
same
yeah,
thing.
sure.
That's right.
if you want,
That sounds pretty great.
if you want, because
I'm actually on board with this
I think
myself.
that's awesome. I got so many games.
time wouldn't necessarily be relative either,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
I mean, time would only be relative to your existence.
Yeah, I got
Right?
you.
So
That would be kind of fun.
3 hours for you could be 2 minutes for Johnny.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Right.
3 years as you're trying to beat this damn game and you finally get through, you
it'll
come out of the
be
room.
Elden Ring. I guarantee.
I'm just imagining.
Or if you wanted to go jam for
Yeah.
Yeah.
the next 100 songs or something like that.
Yeah.
There's no
Right.
consequence. There's no tiredness. There's
Yeah.
people are drunk, but they're not drunk. They're drunk in the sense that they're having a good time,
That's
but they're
just
not
it.
sloppy and
You're-
falling over, and they're able to still play their
Right.
instruments. And
You
right?
just get to
So-
that happy drunk and you can never get over.
not even if
unless you
wanna-
want to.
If you want, if you want to, but just as long as you can still play, we're good.
Oh, in your example, gotcha.
If you
Sure.
want to, be on the floor rolling around, I don't care. But
But you're not part of the band.
well, no, but this is the afterlife where good things happen, so
That's
you can
fair.
still play well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
As you're rolling around.
Right? If that's how you want to feel, that's up to you. Just as long as the jam's still good.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
That is
Yeah.
quite the heaven.
Or
What do
kind of
What do you do with the jams? Do you like record them and do anything, or do they just exist and you move on with your life?
they go on to Saint Spotify.
Saint Spotify.
No, because that's the thing. If anybody wants to, they can just hear it. They can just tune in, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right? They'd be like, I want to hear some people jamming, and then
Yeah.
the music happens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
And
a little
maybe
bit
you're
to
the only one who
left,
can
maybe
hear
the-
that music.
Yeah.
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 That's
Right?
cool.
I just, kind
I
of
gotcha.
whatever.
Yeah.
Just a place to hang out.
Yeah.
And,
That is a
not-
nice one. I'd be happy with that. Just to
not
chill.
necessarily feel negative.
Yeah.
Like
Always
maybe like yeah, you could look back
Yeah.
on your life and be pensive about the scenarios that happened, but not necessarily feel a negative feeling. Right? Like you could say, "Oh yeah, I was sad in that moment when my grandpa passed away," but not be like, "Oh, now I'm sad because I just remembered or watched that funeral of my grandpa passing away."
Well,
You know,
actually,
like,
to your point, though, and this is more of a question to you is, in this lovely scenario, you think of your grandfather, can you hey, grandfather, and actually go and have a chit chat with
yes.
him? And, you
Yes.
get to see him from his perspective. So he
Yeah.
remembers himself as a
In
20, 30-year-old.
In that way, yes. And that's kind of like Matrixy sort of thing, right? Where you see yourself
Yes.
represented how
Yes.
you
Would like to be.
would like to be.
Yeah.
And you
Residual
see
self.
other people, I don't know, maybe represented the way you would want them, but at the same time,
the way they
why
want.
would you take
Yeah.
that away from
Yeah,
you
they
know,
should be able to choose.
Right.
recognizable, but with their own vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
yeah, maybe
Yeah, their own
grandpa
flavor.
enjoyed, being 30 years old, but he shows up in his Purina packing plant uniform that I remember him wearing all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like maybe he didn't work there when he was that age,
Right.
but he
that's
shows
how
up
you-
with that recognizable attire or
Gotcha.
something. Or like my aunt Shirley, her and I were very close. She's the one who got me into playing music and everything like that.
Mhm.
And towards the end of her life, she had cancer and she would kind of got a little bit bigger and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I would think that maybe she would want to remember herself in a different state.
Yes.
But she would come maybe with her guitar that
Yeah.
I remember her having.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, just
Well, and it could be.
my own personal tweak of nostalgia, but
I got you. But it'd be nicer in this world because now I'm kind of on board with your perspective. It's so much. I don't think I would love it that nobody could perceive me in that manner. But what they could do is out of nowhere, you just poof have the guitar and you mind playing again? Let's play.
That's
no,
You know-
that stuff like that too. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that I
just-
think would be great.
Yeah,
You don't force anybody. You have this memory, like, hey, remember when it used to be, and they could switch to it.
yeah,
like,
okay.
give-
Yeah, you
give
can
them
do
a little bit
too.
of choice.
Yeah,
Because again, we might have memories of other people that we had a bad experience with them for some reason. Hey, teenage, stupid
Mhm.
youth, blah blah blah.
Sure.
And if we could perceive them in our memory alone, like that doesn't give them maybe enough credit either. It has to be. I remember
And
we
yeah,
had this issue.
that's a good point too.
Yeah.
Like maybe you can move on.
Yeah, you have a
Maybe
chit chat.
you can have that
Yeah.
opportunity to get past whatever
Yeah,
Mhm.
hardship if
yeah.
the parties so choose.
Yeah, and if you choose, again,
Yeah,
like there may be a
if it-
person, they come up and you remember that time like I punched you in the face for no reason? Yeah, fucker, I remember
Yeah,
that.
take off, man. And again,
So
nothing
often.
negative would happen.
No.
This situation would just be like, okay,
Yeah, okay, fine, we're done.
right, like poof,
Yep.
and it's gone, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Something
That's
like
nice.
that,
That's
right?
nice.
So you just kind of
I like this.
you just are.
I like this. That is a
There's
nice one.
no getting in or not getting in. There's no.
It's just a
It's
you.
It's
your
yours.
perspective.
It's yours.
Gotcha.
It's your own personal
Thing.
thing
Mhm.
That
that
is
you
nice.
can bring things into, as opposed to things just being
Mhm.
there. Yeah,
Nice.
that's what I would want. I think.
That's nice. Very
That
good.
is nice.
All right. Let's talk about reality.
Well, I think I know where Dave's going with this.
Yeah, you do know where I'm going. I might as well start. Mine's pretty simple. That's it.
You're gone, eh?
You're done. There is
Yeah.
no after. There's no before. There's no after. This is your moment in time. Have fun with it. Be what it can be. Because,
Mhm.
yep, it's a moment of light between two infinite darks.
Mhm. Wow. This
That's
morbid motherfucker
I'm sure you
right
thought
here.
about this a lot too.
Considering? Yeah.
Considering having.
I had.
having your-
Oh yes, yeah. Again, it's one of those. So even before that, I had this perspective. When I was younger, no, I went all over the place like most humans. I wasn't sure, any of these possibilities. But I even before the lovely, brain tumor fun, no, I've pretty much fallen into the. This is it.
But
I
as
feel
ser-
like-
but
I-
as
honestly-
seriously as seriously as you did when you were experiencing going through.
Oh yeah.
And especially the point where, I mean, we still don't know, but you have more of an outlook on you're surviving this rather than I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Oh no, yeah.
So having to sit there and actually consider your own mortality
Oh yes.
as opposed to, yeah, this is just what I think what happens and now I'm sticking to it. Before, right?
Yeah, before I
But
was.
during, would it not be, no, it didn't come
No.
down harder or like
No.
more intense of a thought?
No, and in fact, for me personally, I can't speak for every human on this planet.
Mhm.
For me personally, having that perspective actually made me stop and just step back and really try to talk with people a bit more open than I was before this enjoyment.
Mhm.
Right? It was much more of just the, when the day comes for myself, yourselves, because eventually we all have the same end.
Maybe not me. I might get bit by a vampire or something.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
good luck, but
Let me ask a question to you to this topic
Yeah.
that I've brought up here.
Sure.
You knew Dave. You've known Dave since.
I would say 3/4 of our life we've probably known
Okay,
each
so
other.
you knew Dave before having a brain tumor.
Yeah.
You don't
Like-
mind us talking about this,
Oh,
right?
no,
He's
I don't
a
mind.
total asshole back then, by the way. It's great.
I'm much nicer now.
It was so much nicer.
I knew Dave before he had a brain tumor, but I
That's
didn't
true.
know
Right.
Dave.
Mhm.
Like you and I, we didn't hang out like we do
No,
now.
You're right.
no,
Dave
yeah.
and I were very intimate before he has brain tumor.
And still are.
Still
So
are.
I didn't
And that didn't change
know
things.
I didn't know him like I know him now. And how I know him is you're very like kind of free will, caring, like you're very, yeah, man, like I want to experience this and I want to do that. And you're very was he like this before that?
In high school, yes. Pretty much I think that's probably why I became friends. We had very similar attitude that way. And I would say into our early to mid 20s, yes. After that,
I had a moment.
he had a moment.
Okay.
Things changed and he became much more, don't take this the wrong way, rigid in his life and choices. And I could even see a little bit of perpendicular with him and Shan, because Shan was also trying to be freer, if you will. Anyways, so
I'd have to say rigid was a very good way to say that without any sort of like,
I went through my
calling
phase.
him
Went
an
through his phase.
asshole or a dick.
And
I was.
we would obviously
It was always about work.
But saying
It was always
rigid
about
was
work.
very
It was
unoffensive,
always
I
about
find.
work. Yeah, it was always about work. I went through a lovely phase. It had nothing even to do with death or anything of this nature.
No,
it was
nothing of
just
that.
it's all about money, work.
And he was fucking hating himself in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah.
And but
Did having the thought of an early passing change any of that for you?
So
and that's why my question.
No. So thankfully I'll just call it that way. Even before the lovely, brain tumor stuff, I had actually reconnected myself. I had I dug myself out.
Yeah. I remember us talking about that.
Yeah.
Sorry to get so personal.
That's all good.
Death is personal.
Well, and that's when we said this was going to be the topic. That was kind of one of my first thoughts. Like, what was neither of us have had that sort of like you have
fun?
an X amount of chance right now to die.
Yeah.
Like
I have already.
You might want to think about getting your affairs in order.
I have
shit.
Not only passed the average mark, I think it's something like 80% passed in the first 12 months. I have gotten to that lovely, I'm almost at 3 years for flying.
Fucking A, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking A.
And there's a lot of positive things going on with it as well, too, right? It's not like it's just in a stasis sort of thing.
It is in a state. It is in a dormant state.
Okay.
Yes. No. It is still what it is.
Better than bad, though.
Exactly. Yeah. It's one of and that's the other thing is it in some ways, and again, even though I still have the same perspective from what will really happen personally, it's just one of those, even with this, I haven't changed it. The only thing is that I try to, make sure I'm spending time doing things I love, that I like, spending with friends, family, when I can.
And I'm assuming that's kind of what you pulled out of the whole thing then.
Yes, I have gotten more
this could
on
be
that
this
side.
Short.
Exactly. I got more into that. Yes.
And you were fortunate enough to come out, again, like you're saying, 3 years versus 6 to 12 months.
Correct.
To whatever, right?
Correct.
So...
Fuck, 3 years. That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
I know.
Is it
Less
a thing
than,
where it's
about
like
a month?
the longer you go without any sort of effects or anything, the more chance you have of a longer, obviously.
It's kind of still in that random territory. It's one of those things that, I'm not trying to knock the doctors or medical system because they've even been honest with me. A lot of this is kind of you roll, you see how the dice land, the cards are played. Like it's
like you're saying, then act that way. And, and
still with responsibility. I have family, children.
Don't be an ass.
You still work.
I still work. Yeah, I still work. Things
but
like
enjoy
I do
the
enjoy
time
it. Yes.
that you have to.
Yeah.
Have certain experiences like with your kids, with your
Yes.
wife, aside from what responsibilities need to happen, obviously.
When I look back, I would say my earlier that perfect, what I would love to be able to go replay. Yeah, pretty much from the age of, we'll call it 25 to 35. I wouldn't say that's the exact time frame. I likely wouldn't go much back, other than the kids getting born and fun stuff like that.
Sure.
But I spent a lot of that time just fucking working constantly.
Yeah. That was no fun, Dave.
Yeah, well, it was still fun, Dave, but Dave, you only saw once a month, maybe.
I know, and then you wouldn't get fucking drunk with me because, oh no, I gotta go to work. Oh, I'm like, fucking,
that's true.
But you think so?
Yeah, I do think that when the time comes for all of us, unfortunately, it is just a.
So now I kind of think the same, but different.
Nice. What's your perspective? Go ahead.
Because, I'm not a Christian person or a Catholic. Like I was baptized, and I think I was only baptized because my mom was appeasing my grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was just afraid of the devil.
There could be that too. She's now Babadook. But because my grandparents were like church on Sunday, right, and Catholic church,
right? The fun church.
Yay. Get up, kneel, sit, stand,
I know.
kneel, sit, sing like you're sad about the fact that you're here.
It's pretty sad when your only thing you look forward to is communion because you get to drink some wine.
Right? And scary Jesus.
That's scary Jesus.
Catholicism has scary Jesus.
For sure.
Oh,
Absolutely.
nice.
Oh yeah, on the cross, blood, everything.
Yeah.
Fuck the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Not Buddy Christ, scary Jesus.
Scary
Gotcha.
Jesus.
But so I think that's why I was baptized. Where was I going with that?
I don't know. Would you really believe?
So Catholic, yeah, I don't buy into that.
Gotcha.
So I don't
Okay, so
I don't
all that
think
to say you don't buy into
I
being
don't
a
buy
Catholic.
into afterlife
Okay.
as an existence, I guess. I think of it, I guess, a little more scientifically, I would say. Your body is governed by electricity.
Okay.
Electricity doesn't just die. It goes somewhere, right? It doesn't just stop. It can arc. It can go from one place to another, right? Just like lightning, where it wants to go is the path of least resistance,
Okay.
right? You belching again.
Yeah.
It's like these deep laden.
You're
Yeah.
possessed.
Yes.
Right.
The electricity transfer.
So I
That's
think that's what a ghost is
It's not ectoplasm.
no, it's
Okay.
residual electricity. It's yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Because
So
electricity wants to go into the ground.
gotcha. So
We're buried in the ground.
gotcha. So from a ghost perspective, that kind of makes sense. Okay.
But it's more of but with the ghost perspective thing, I don't know if you guys do watch the supernatural nonsense on the TVs and stuff.
Nope.
So there's theories of like ghosts that actually like haunt and do stuff and like move fucking microphones and shit like that, right? It was a ghost, fuck you.
Ghost named
It was a-
AJ.
it was a
Full of
spooky- it was a
ectoplasm.
spooky-
He's
it was a
covered in it.
spooky
He's covered in it.
ghost. So there's those ghosts, right? But there's also just ones that will residually just do what they used to do. So it's just like a
Gotcha.
loop. They're just going
Over and over.
I always see a ghost go up and down these stairs. Well, that ghost ain't gonna fuck with you if you believe in ghosts and shit like that. Like it's not gonna interact. It's not an interactable.
It's
thing.
just a thing.
It's just a thing that is seen because it's electricity doing what it did.
Interesting. So the one question I do have though, so we have this ghost. Now, is the ghost cognitive of
No.
what they're doing? So there's no brain. There is no person.
No, it's just an image.
Okay.
It's a for lack of a pun, it's a static image.
Okay, gotcha. So is that idea that even so, you personally, when you in your perspective, when you die, you are gone.
You're dead.
Okay, you're dead. There is nothing else after.
There's like I've said, I don't subscribe to Buddhism as a belief. I take what I want and I leave it. So
That's
I
fair.
don't believe in reincarnation.
Gotcha.
I
Yeah,
don't believe in past
That's
lives. Or
Everybody that
Gotcha.
follows
Stuff like
any
that.
following is they just take what they want and
Right?
they leave the
Fair
rest.
enough.
It is humanistic.
That's very much so.
But yeah, so I don't subscribe to the. It's
Okay.
just, like you said before, like it's kind of like a tree. You know, like
Mhm.
you have a seed.
Mm.
Seed turns into tree. Tree dies.
That's
Tree-
it.
Tree gone.
Yep.
Right. Seed came from tree. Right. Like
Yep.
seeds come from trees. Seeds come from humans.
Yep.
We spread our seeds. Yeah, I know where you're going with it.
No, just
Spooky ghost.
No. I'm just laughing because it's as if AJ's explaining his perspective to like kindergartners. I love it. I love it.
Well,
Like,
These
we
are
don't
seeds
know
from the
we
tree
don't know the
that
age
are planted.
of
I
our
wish we had a camera
listeners.
right now. That they're planted.
planted in the ground.
Now, why is this not a video episode?
and then it sprouts. Like,
And ectoplasm
Oh,
gets
no.
everywhere. All in
That's
the.
my drink.
Oh
Just a
no!
dribble came out. It's okay.
if there was sugar, I'd be like, that's how we get ants.
Yes, that's
but
true.
fortunately, no sugar. We're fine. But yeah, I just kind of
I'll lick it after. Don't worry.
and then yeah.
I'm sold
looking
just
in
on
post?
the.
I just I don't think
Yeah,
I
nice.
don't think
I
there's an
gotcha.
afterlife or
Yeah.
All right,
anything like that. But it's not negative.
No,
Like,
I
it's not
gotcha.
a negative thing, right? It's just
Even for me, I
It
don't
just
think it's
is.
negative. It just I'm same.
it just is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the very similar as you. Just I have no concept of spirit. To me,
That's-
that's a nothing.
That's why they call it the long sleep.
Hmm.
It's you're literally like out sleep.
No dreams though.
No.
Again, you're gone.
Yeah, that's. I think
Yeah.
sleep's a nice way to disguise it.
Because
Yeah,
I
'cause
don't.
you're not
you
actually
know what? I'll
sleeping.
get to what I was just about to say after Chris
Oh.
gets.
Go ahead,
to that.
no, go
well, because I think it's a different topic.
Okay.
All right.
Like I think it's the same, but it kind of takes away from the whole what do you think
We'd be
happens.
distracting ourselves. We can't
Yeah,
distract
we can't
ourselves.
distract
That,
ourselves.
yeah, for sure. I don't really know for sure what I believe really happens, but I recently heard something that Louis C.K. said, and I think
Is
I resonate.
Whip your dick out if she comes in the room.
no.
Right?
Yeah, well, I mean that's just
I've
just
tried
good.
that a few times.
That's just
about
good.
50%.
A good rule of thumb. Yeah, 50% of the time. It works.
When you're married, it's different.
Oh, okay. No, he was talking about death, and his theory seems to make sense to me, and that is because I'll get into that in a second. But the idea is when you're born of this earth, and you're born of all the materials and wisdom and energy and all that stuff, and you are on this world for whatever time you're here for, and your job is to live it, use that energy. But then, when you're gone, you go back in the earth, and all of that is put back into the earth, so that way, whatever it is that comes afterwards, use that energy for their own life. So I like that theory. I like that idea of it.
I think that's kind of a Native American sort of
It's a little bit, because
you go back to the earth, and when you decompose, you feed
It's-
worms and soil, and
Yeah.
and you turn into
like
soil.
you are, like you're giving back because you took something. You know what I mean? Sort
Yeah.
of idea. So it's a little bit of both your guys' kind of thing.
Well, I guess so. The one question, just to poke
Sure.
at it, what happens to your mind? Is it
What happens
gone?
to you?
Gone?
Yeah, your soul, your
Your
what do you
mind,
think
your-
happens?
Yeah. So I guess it goes back into the earth, and then it's
so you have
transferred
no
away.
true cognitive.
Well, because here's the thing.
I guess the question is being a Christian, you don't subscribe to I'm going to heaven.
Oh, I do, but
But
I
that's-
also
but
realize
that's a hardcore belief, right? That like when I die, this is what's happening.
I believe it from a personal perspective. I don't necessarily believe that's a perspective that is true. And like I said before, I understand that it's something that might be my own head.
Okay, sorry.
Right?
Right.
So, but we all know that when we die, your body changes. You're no longer the person you were. Something has left you, right? That's
Well,
why.
yes.
Right. So whether that's your spirit, whatever you want to call it, I like to believe that goes on to help something or someone else. I'd like to believe that. How, in what capacity? I don't know.
That's an
I don't
interesting
know.
way to think about it.
But-
I've never thought about the fact
Yeah.
that it might go on to not necessarily be its own entity or be its own thing or whatever anybody believes, or it goes on to be a part of something else
We
in regards to a greater good.
exactly.
Huh.
We all
Never thought about
we
that
all
one.
belong to a collective consciousness. That is
The Borg.
essentially, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
So-
think you believe we are hive minded?
We are.
We are to a certain extent. I
Yeah.
actually give some credit to that. Our society, the way
say,
it kind of
Look at pack
I'll
mentality.
say pack mentality.
But that's
That's
hive minded.
yes.
but things
we're
Just
not
add
truly-
more to the pack.
Hive
Add more to the pack.
Hive minded is more of one thing thinks it, everybody thinks it. If you think of the Borg, we'll take
Correct.
that for instance.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right? When the Borg said something, all the other 1,000 Borgs
Said-
the same
Right,
thing.
Right.
Right.
We're not
Whereas
Borg.
a pack still has the ability to be individual.
Correct. I would say more pack personally. Yes.
Okay.
Personally, that's where I would go.
Sure. Either way. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. I just
want to
subscribe
call
that.
one quick thing because
Sure.
you actually kind of said it. The return to the earth, that actually is a thing.
Mhm.
It's not quite here in Canada. My wife would love for this to happen. When she dies, when she's 90, instead of having to choose between cremation or getting buried in a box, they'll actually bury your body in the soil so it properly decomposes.
Yeah.
And
That's
it-
cool.
I love that.
That's cool.
It's
I love
something
that.
that's growing in the States, I think, right now. It's one of those things I would love. Like,
I'd be down.
I'm one of those people that, hey, do whatever the hell you want with the body. I'm dead.
Sure.
But if it could be in such a way, like I don't want to have it full of chemicals. I don't want to
Mhm.
bury.
Right.
Like, if it could somehow be not as food.
Naturally.
That one fucking book movie popped in my head, but not
Well, no,
that.
it's going to be food if you do it that way. It's going to be worm
But the
food.
long
Literally.
term, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that long term, like that, I would love that to be done to my body.
Yeah, I told you this. I might have told you this too, AJ. I love that idea, or the idea where you can use your body to for a tree, because you can basically.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah. But they don't allow that in Canada. I love that idea, because you're something you're giving.
Exactly.
Else,
I don't want to be full of chemicals put in a box. I ideally wouldn't be burned in a fucking furnace. In a perfect world, you throw my body somewhere, hey, properly market, and put me with other people that have passed.
Sure.
And we happily fertilize that area.
Yeah, I really don't care if I'm with other people. Whatever's cheapest.
And it has nothing to do with me being a cheap bastard.
I gotcha.
Whatever's going to cost my widow the least, or my children the least amount of money, do that.
There's nothing worse than the fucking financial burden that is put on the family after.
It's disgusting.
It really is.
It's actually disgusting. I want to just top my point off here. The guy I used to work for back home, it was an electronics store, but he ran a side hustle doing tombstones. 500% markup.
Oh, yeah.
500 fucking percent.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That's disgusting.
No, to call that out, because again, it is one of those things that still exists in our society where, yes, you can 500% because you're showing your value and your love of that person that's passed. But the reality, at least, is in Ontario, because I've been through this twice now, that actually you can go through this whole process with cremation, no burial, cremation for about $1,000.
Yeah.
Really?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
Yeah, it's actually fairly inexpensive if you're like you don't care, and I mean this in the nicest way. You don't care about the ashes,
put you in a fucking box and a bag in the
all those things. Yeah, you can. You just basically,
and that's what it is. You're not getting an urn.
Yeah, you don't get anything. No service, no urn.
A box. You get a box with a bag in it.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Because my dad did that with his brother.
Yeah.
And they ended up putting him in 2 fucking Tupperware containers and then taking them to the ocean.
Yep.
Which
that, and again, I've said that even to Sham, which is, hey, in the time when it comes, like it's one of those, hey, if you could bury me and actually use my body for good, fucking hey, do that. But otherwise,
I told Nikki that if it's legal and if it's possible, use my drum set as a casket.
Sure.
Cremate me.
Why not?
Cremate me.
Yeah.
And use my drums as a casket.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. You don't have to be put anywhere if you don't want to.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then, bury that in the backyard or some shit.
Well, if you do, backyard to be a bit careful, but yeah, it's one of those things of, to be honest, you can actually just go to a federal park and dump the ashes. It is.
Do they allow that?
In a federal park, it is totally legal.
That's really awesome, actually.
Yeah. Federal. It has to be federal. Can't go, Victoria Park.
Yeah, but no, you could go to your provincial park.
So
I'm not sure about provincial. It has,
but here's the thing, like that's maybe it is really one of those things, like. If only you get caught, you know what I mean?
Oh no, it is.
Like, if you don't get,
that's true too. That's true. Like I guess they got people at Disney World and Disneyland that fucking security guards, that are looking for people doing that.
And I somewhat understand that perspective, because of that. And could you imagine being a fucking child of like 7 years old in a coaster of some form? And somebody, Jesus Murphy,
see, now, it would be kind of smart and kind of cool for Disney to have like a tree.
Yes.
Or something like that. Like a big ass tree in the middle of a park or on the side, maybe with the statue that's got Walt and Mickey or some shit by there, where you could do that.
Yes.
Because there are some people who are better off for being lifelong Disney fanatics.
Okay.
Really? Like
that's sure. But here's the thing. I think the only reason why they don't do that is because they haven't figured out the exact price to add on to the ticket. To allow that to happen.
It's an extra pass.
Should it be like $100 or $1,000? They're not quite.
It's an extra pass.
Exactly. Right. Once they figure that out, then they'll allow.
And then there's the lineup to get in to dump the ashes.
Well, you get a fast pass.
Or Uncle Chris could take Max and get to the front of the line with a disability pass.
Exactly. That's right. You can do that. Like, we're gonna go here. Yeah.
Oh, you
I love it. Yeah, I'm sure Disney will do that.
Because there are, like, all joking aside, like, I mean, people who are into Disney are pretty innocent fucking people, right? I mean, matricide aside.
No, I've met some people that are into Disney that are, but I hear what you're saying.
Okay,
I hear what you're saying.
I know, but you're into people. You met people who are into like Disney fan fiction and Pornhub and cosplay and shit like that. Like that's not what I'm talking about.
I mean, I'm just saying like that's just a massive generalized term. That's all. But I think I get what you're saying. Like if at the end of the day, if Disney's your thing and that's what you love and are a part of, and you want to have your remains scattered at the place that you love,
Yeah.
I see where. Yeah, I think that's.
And they have all the water and stuff there.
Yeah, I think that should be allowed. I agreed.
I think if it's being done properly and
but
tastefully,
case in point,
like you're saying, like you don't want to be throwing it off fucking Space Mountain.
Yeah. More up in the other. There is another side to that coin.
This Dole Whip tastes funny.
That just becomes the place to hide bodies.
Yeah, Mafia guys. Yeah, I'm a big Disney fan. Yeah,
pretty sure I saw that Criminal Minds episode.
yeah, but it's odd. I guess we all do it, but it is odd to identify so strongly with the corporate entity. You know what I mean?
Everybody has their thing.
Yeah, I know.
Like I've already said to Shan, much like you said. No, when the day comes, when I'm like 96 years old, the day finally comes. It's just, get me out of here the cheapest way, right?
Yeah.
If we have more of an environmental thing that isn't super crazy expensive, then sure, go down that path. But basically, it is the simplest way. Don't do a ceremony thing. Don't do any sort of funeral.
I don't want any of that shit.
All I would really say is just, hey, have everybody come out to the bar, have a drink, talk about how amazing I am, and move on.
Yeah,
that's it. Just the wake.
I think it's why
Go to a
I
bar.
am so.
Party.
I mean, I joke a lot, but I'm actually relatively serious and adamant about directing or orchestrating my own funeral is because I want to keep it out of the hands of people that don't know me, that don't know my life. Because at the end of the day, I've been to a number of funerals and they just cost money.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't want that for my loved ones.
Oh yeah. Have my fucking,
and that's,
you want to have a luncheon, have it at a fucking community club that costs you $100.
Exactly.
Like don't do it at a fucking hall.
Yeah.
Just go to the bar.
Buy
what you want,
be done. Enjoy your time, and then let's talk about good time. But like for me, the ego is saying that people are actually going to come to my funeral. I don't know if that's going to happen yet, But pardon?
Don't sell yourself.
No. I'm just saying that in the sense that like that's the another reason. It's like I don't know if I really want.
I mean, if I'm alive, I'll be there.
Nice.
But like, fuck.
Yeah, well, if you're dead,
if you die tomorrow, I'll be there. But if I'm already dead, sorry, dude.
It happens. It's like my Nana, who passed away a year and a half ago, but we're in the middle of all the COVID shit, so nothing came about. It's finally been scheduled. And again, this is my Nana. Like, this is what she would demand if she was still here. It's a very inexpensive. It's a Friday afternoon. If you can make it, great. If you can't, no problem.
Right.
It's and I think that's a really good way to look at it because she's probably a person who understood whether she said it or not, whether you believe she said it or not. People are going to remember regardless.
Oh yeah,
and they're going to do it in their own
right.
way.
Oh yeah, that's exactly it.
You could have that funeral boohoo fucking thing. You could have the party woohoo thing. Mm-hmm. Or not. And if you don't, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No,
because people are still going to remember you in their way regardless.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it's
that's kind of how I feel about it.
Yep.
Really.
I agree.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, don't fucking have a funeral.
For sure. Do you know what's really great?
Have people give you a call and say I'm sorry and move on.
I shouldn't make that joke. I was about to make a horrible joke.
I don't know. Actually, this is good or bad, so you guys can decide. But because the advent of the internet, yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
The advent of the internet, long after we're gone, people will be able to still experience us through Sarcastic Distractions. They are going to be able to listen to this podcast for fucking ever.
If certain scenarios exist, yes.
Yes. Well, yeah. Okay. Listen, we're talking like an electrical apocalypse or something. Okay. No.
Yeah. If
if things keep going,
if a worldly EMP goes off.
No. You have to remember though, and I mean this in the loving sense. I'm sure our listeners will come back to this 1,000 years from now and be like, "This is amazing."
Oh my God! Look at the insight these guys have.
But we also have to remember the internet actually isn't forever. There are things that are on there that eventually will go away.
That's true. That's why we got to keep more.
What was that big website that everybody was part of like 15 years ago? MySpace.
Yeah, but it's still around.
It's not around at the same content thing, everything, right?
Yeah.
But it's still there. You can still go on. It's not
the new version thing.
It's not a social. It's not a social media platform.
Yeah, it's just things change.
Like Facebook.
Sure,
things change. Basically SoundCloud now.
Yeah.
Or Bandcamp
that's true. But that's what I mean. It is that whole different style now. That's all.
Which I guess is probably good that we're on like all the podcasts. Stations.
And again, that's another funny thing, and I mean this in a loving sense, and it may not happen to us, but like if you have a YouTube video that you've made of yourself and it's on YouTube, eventually that time will come where nobody even knows to watch it anymore.
That's true.
Well, and what happens when YouTube goes tits up?
Exactly. The
what
day,
happens to their servers?
Yeah.
What happens to
they'll get
the
deleted.
information that's stored on those servers?
Right.
which has happened.
Right.
They'll get deleted, and if that equipment's still relevant, sold off.
Yeah, that's true.
And most likely it's not relevant. It just gets burned and stripped for the parts that are
Right.
possible.
So
and
you're
that's it.
saying-
The gold.
Eventually, it all ends.
So let's get into this next question then. If both like what we want to see happen, what actually the reality happens to the podcast after it dies, what do we want to see happen versus what actually happens? Pie eye in the sky would be great if it goes on forever and people listen to it for their own enjoyment.
I think that's the hell they have to listen to us talk forever.
That's the reality.
stupid show you made.
I'm definitely with you. If for some reason it's unearthed or it's come across or like we used to listen. This is terrible, and I'm gonna get fucking crucified for this. We used to listen to a very, very, very inappropriate. I'm gonna preface it with this: very inappropriate times 20, very racist times 20. Piece of comedy that was circulating, and this is before the internet. So I had this tape that like you had to turn your volume up on your thing to 10 to hear it, right? Like it was dubbed that many times. I probably had like a 29th generation copy of this. It was called Brocket 99.
Okay.
And what it was is it was these three, whatever, a bunch of white kids out of Alberta making fun of Native Canadians, Indigenous people, and living on a reserve and stuff that. And being somebody who lived near a reserve, you could see the comedy and the similarities to a certain degree where, like that's what life is kind of like. And it's kind of funny, right? But the severity of it and the fact that it was a bunch of white kids, not funny.
Yeah.
But where was I going?
I don't know where you're going with this.
How did I start off with that? Oh, internet. Us. Yes. Thank you. So we used to, if somebody like unearths and listens to it and, finds some humor and enjoyment, that's great. Yeah, that'd be great because I think that's, again, regardless of the content, it's great that something like that could happen.
Right.
Regardless of if it's a racist tape that sounds like crap.
Yeah.
Or
us fine gentlemen talking about very important things within
very,
our life.
Very non-racist important things.
Yeah, no, we're not racist. Death happens to everybody.
It's true.
We're equal.
Very equal.
For sure.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
except for the Thai.
Indeed.
Yeah, they don't die.
What doesn't die?
Thai people.
Oh.
They don't die.
Interesting.
They just turn into elephants and exist forever.
Okay.
Well, is this where we end things?
No.
Do you want to talk about this?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
well,
ghosts.
All right.
No.
I'm going to repeat a quote.
No
before
ghosts?
I get into the
Nope.
intro. Oh, you want
We're
to talk
not
about ghosts?
done.
Oh, my bad.
You just asked me a question.
No, that my answer.
He asked me a question and then he didn't even.
All right. Okay.
I said
You said no.
I say no.
Abrasive.
Ghosts.
I told you, yes. I believe in all of that stuff. Why? Because life's more fun.
No.
Seriously.
Seriously.
So you believe in the supernatural?
Yeah, why
and
not?
the ghosts is but seriously.
Seriously.
No, but why not?
Yeah. Seriously.
Conversation over.
Why not? Yeah, let's do it.
Not
Why
going
not?
to talk about it anymore.
Technically, you accepted my no right away, so I have a suspicion of what you
yeah.
believe in.
Like, you accepted his no, but you don't accept my answer for whatever reason. I think it's more fun to believe in.
Wait, why did you say yes?
Why do you say this?
Well, you didn't ask Dave why you said no. Well, no makes sense. What are you talking?
If you're looking for explanations of, I haven't got anything for you. It's my life's more fun and more enjoyable believing that anything like that could exist.
And you're both wrong. I don't know. So fuck you.
You
fuck
did say no.
You're cool.
Yeah.
You did say no.
When?
Just now you said I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought you were going. That was hilarious.
But no.
You said it.
I just said it again.
At the end of the day,
but I didn't put a comma in between don't and no. It was just straight. I don't know. It wasn't. I don't. No.
I know. I'm agreeing. You said no.
Yeah, I did.
but to what you're
The rest
saying,
of our podcast.
because you don't know, I don't know, and neither does he.
Oh yeah, we don't know.
But because of that, that's why I like to believe you. Yeah, why not?
yeah, I'm on the no
Hell yeah.
side.
So you like to believe you don't care. You like to
No, I
believe that
don't.
there's the possibility.
Absolutely.
Because
It's way more fun to think that way.
Yeah.
And like, you know what? Humans are so limited in their understanding of life. Like we're so caught in our own fucking scopes that to say you know or don't know is stupid. But then to also say that there's nothing else out there in the supernatural I mean, that seems a little bit naive to say too, right?
Because it. Yeah, I guess.
Like, what if ghosts are
aliens.
What if ghosts are like residuals from other dimensions and shit? We don't know. We just don't know. You know?
That's a great point.
Yeah,
that's
so.
because.
And now we're understanding
again,
multidimensional theory and shit. So
right? Because ghosts could
not understanding the
ghosts could be things that have absolutely nothing to do with our reality.
Absolutely.
And there's somebody else's reality, but they're just running in a parallel.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Oh wow, man, that kind of
his brain is exploding.
Kind of, because I'm thinking of like when you see somebody dressed up like they're from the 1600s or the 1800s or something like that. That could be a time period that's running parallel to your time period, but they're different time periods, but happening at the same time.
That's true.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm still on
like
the
somebody's experiencing 1860 in my 2023.
Very
just
possible.
like right now we're experiencing Wednesday when Australia is experiencing Thursday.
That's right. Yeah. Sure.
It's all about the time zones.
All about the timing. Yeah. So you just don't know.
Yeah, I think the reason I would say I don't know is because I've never experienced any sort of paranormal that I would say would be like, no, that was a fucking ghost, man. That was a fucking ghost. There's no way I could debunk that. That was a ghost.
No, but that's the thing. Like, I have experienced paranormal events, and even I can't rely on my own eyes or my own fucking memory or my own knowledge, so I can't ever definitively say whether something happened or not, nor do I think any human can. So that's why I like erring on, sure, why not?
I have to admit, so for me, I'm a complete no. I don't believe at all.
I was going to move.
But I've had 2 experiences myself.
Yeah.
But both was while I had a fever. So one, I
see, there's an explanation or something, right?
Now, because neither of you realize that if you don't bust my balls, we'll stop talking about shit. Why, Dave? Why do you not believe? Why is no your answer?
Just because that's what I believe.
But why? I'm going to do the same thing I do to Chris. But why?
So why do I believe there is no afterlife or ability to ghost follow that?
Yeah,
sort of
why
thing?
no ghost?
Because he's a nihilist. No, I was kidding.
It's not even necessarily the afterlife or yada. So why no ghost?
Because I believe that if there were ghosts after many, many centuries of our human existence, we would have very definitive proof of their existence.
We would have more definitive.
Correct. Whereas all we have are people's experiences.
That's a straw man argument.
You really need to watch A&E or TLC or the Discovery Channel or the Ghost channels.
Sure, the History Channel. Watch for
because
the Ghost channels.
Dave, they have it. They have things on video, Dave, they can't manipulate this stuff, Dave.
I think it's time to say we're done because I'm going to get in trouble.
I think so.
No, they can't. It's unmanipulatable. Videotape nowadays, it's impossible to manipulate anything that you see.
To be honest, a videotape would be a bit of a challenge.
100%.
A videotape would be
an actual tape would be hard to.
Yeah, an actual tape would be challenging.
Shit together.
Well, no, we have digital videotape here.
No.
That can be manipulated.
Not
just like
digital videotape.
Oh, you're talking analog videotape.
Correct.
Okay.
That would be.
You can still doctor that.
Yeah, no, I know you can doctor it, but it's a lot harder.
Hey man, if they made laser beams in Star Wars in the 70s, we could make a ghost.
Yeah, that's true. And that was really fun to watch. Have you ever seen the actual set setups?
Oh, yeah.
I've seen
Star Wars and
shit?
Oh, yeah, man.
Like the old school ones?
Or like
wow.
how they would like shoot something and then on the film they would just cut that out and leave black behind it so they could
that's so cool.
Use it as anyway.
That was
moving on.
We're talking about Star Wars again. What are the chances?
It involves the Death Star, so it's relevant. It's relevant.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan dies. Yoda dies.
That's true.
Force ghosts happen.
Yeah.
6 degrees of death.
Oh fuck.
Brought to you by Star Wars. Also, not a sponsor.
Please a sponsor.
But if you want to sponsor us, please, Star Wars. We want you as a sponsor. We really want you.
Please,
I'm going to say Disney is technically the sponsor, not Star Wars.
But yeah, so just it's just I think I'm like on. That's why I don't know, because yes, like zero actual physical. Like I've always said to like people have asked me this. Oh, you don't believe in ghosts? Why not? I will believe in ghosts when a ghost comes into my house
and slaps you.
Picks up a pen and writes, "Hi AJ, this is so and so. I am a ghost."
That's a very specific.
That's how specific it's going to have to be for me to 100.
Ghosts
then you know what?
I guess they
I have to admit, I would switch my perspective if that happened to me.
Right? Right? But
Assuming I'm not into drugs or anything.
there you go. Because I've never experienced those things that people say, like, oh, I was sitting on my bed, or I was laying in bed and then the one corner of the bed went down, or or shadow people like poking their heads around the sides of doors and stuff like that. Like, yes, I've experienced things like that. But at the same time, it's like, but it always happens like
at the side of vision.
Here.
Yeah.
Not to get too
and I've done a lot of mushrooms, enough mushrooms to know that your eyes
play tricks on you.
Light plays tricks on your eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like the slightest change in light will play tricks on your eyes.
Absolutely. Yeah. My mother and father apparently said that I used to associate with a spectral figure of an old man when I was a toddler in my crib. And they both saw it.
So when you were talking, okay. I was gonna say, man, I had an imaginary friend too.
I know that's
but
it.
Like,
it wasn't all my problems.
It wasn't no ghost. It was.
I never had an imaginary
friend.
Yeah.
Did you have brothers and sisters?
Yes,
that's why.
Yeah, fair enough.
No. That's the can't be the right, because I never had an imaginary friend, but Josh did have an imaginary friend.
And did he enjoy playing with his brothers and sisters?
Yeah, we played all the time.
Did he enjoy playing with his brothers and sisters?
I mean,
not did he have to?
Yeah.
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
Right.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, he'll ask to be on the episode with us and discuss his perspective.
I think we need to. I think we need to have that conversation.
Oh, we haven't? Yeah, we should have the brother-sister type episode.
We should.
That'd be an interesting one. Bring Ange here, bring your brother.
That would be interesting because of,
Yeah.
Well, if we're going to do it, we have to do it relatively soon because Ange is going out east.
Oh, I'm sure Josh will do that. Yeah. Well, come on. Yeah.
All right, we'll have to figure out a timing. All right, we'll try to work
something
out.
Telephones don't exist anymore. So
that's true.
We can't use that technology.
If we wanted to do it remote, we can certainly do it remote.
We'll make sure to send out a carry pigeon of this edit for people.
Yeah.
No, Western Union still exists,
okay.
right? The Pony Express?
They do actually. I don't know about a Pony Express, but Western Union does.
Oh, I'm talking OG Western Union where they, knock.
Right.
I got a telegram here, Mr.
Which I believe, fun fact, they coined the term shotgun when you're riding shotgun in a vehicle.
Because that's where they would keep.
Yeah, you were the rifleman in Western Union when you're traveling across the land.
Wow.
Yeah, you were the guy.
Western Union used to not only do telegrams, they were the ones who were like sending money and shit.
Yeah,
things of value,
high priority shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Nice. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
good.
But it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
Or even could it? I feel like it would. Western Union makes sense, but Pony Express, it's all the same.
Yeah,
all the same.
If it's not Western Union, it would have been whatever.
But that makes complete sense as to why it would.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Should we wrap this up?
That's a perfect spot to end.
Do you know my butt's called a caboose because it was the end of the train and it looked like a butt?
Yep.
Yeah,
that's why. But that's why your butt is called a caboose.
Not
everybody else.
For everybody who can't see, my bum is actually square.
Yeah,
with a little roof on the top and some dials on the
brake
back.
pads.
And it goes bing bing when I fart. That's why my butt's called.
That's
caboose.
why his is.
But yeah, I don't think I have because I'm trying to think of other. We talk like afterlife. We don't need to talk about how we would hope to perish or anything like that.
It seems like a
morbid. That's more morbid than it needs to be, I think.
Well, I don't think it's just that. Like, it's just a bit of a wasted conversation because how you want to go versus how you go, like, it's just nobody gets to choose that.
I guess it's how you.
Well, I guess you do if you want
to a certain extent.
Sure, but like, I mean,
but I guess it's more like how you hope. Like, I want personally, you guys don't have to get in. I would prefer to go in my sleep like my grandfather, not like the passenger screaming in his car over the cliff.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people want to go in their sleep. I kind of want to go in a blaze of glory, just shooting out a bunch of people.
Oy vey.
So if you were to
you're not going to heaven. If you were
no, it's for the war. Okay, so yeah.
If you were to get given a terminal prognosis of like a week, like definite,
right? Like the 48 hours thing we had.
We did 2 weeks ago.
100% dying in a week.
100% you are dying in a week. You would walk into a bank and be like, "Fuck this shit!
No,
I'm going out."
No, because like you said, I don't want to go to hell, so I would enlist in the army, go to the battlefield because you're allowed to kill.
If you don't kill anybody,
Yeah.
You can still go out in a blaze of glory. Just make sure you are a bad shot.
Fair,
so you can like
fair.
just be like pew 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 pew,
And I
pew,
just
Or you
keep
pew.
just do
shot out.
cap guns.
or
or
Just do
cap
cap
guns.
guns.
Yeah.
or blanks.
Oh, do cap guns because a blank can be unsafe. It's
For
happening
sure.
still.
Alec
What's his
Baldwin-
name? Yeah,
Alec
Baldwin.
Baldwin.
Well, I'll make sure I check. I'll be the safety.
You're gonna be there for this? That's
Yeah, yeah.
amazing. All right.
Yeah, he's
I'll be
gonna
the-
film.
I'm the safety. You need some. You're the director. Don't you need a cinematographer? You need a sound guy
so.
too, don't you?
I'll be the sound guy.
I figured the media would just, make up their own story.
Have you seen what they're doing nowadays? iPhones.
What?
iPhones, Chris.
That's true. That's true.
We
Yeah.
need a Panasonic
all right, we're done.
on a tripod,
All right.
filled in panorama. Do they even film things in panorama anymore?
I think so.
Is that even a
I
thing?
feel like
Is
I
that still a
saw
thing?
that. Yeah. Anyways.
It's not Dolby Vision.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say this. I have no desire of how I wish to go because I don't know. I don't think like that. But I'm pretty confident, and maybe I'm sure this for everybody, but for myself, I'm gonna know when it's gonna happen. Like I'll know moments, however long, whatever, before it happens. I know I'm going. I don't know how I know that. I don't know why I know that. I'm feeling
So
pretty.
for some
pretty
reason,
keen
he's
on
going
that.
to explode from a very large fart. He's going to be like, "I'm going to fart, and this is it. I'm just
This
dead.
is it.
I'm dead."
I've been
I'm
saving
dead.
these farts for the last 13 years, and now it's time to.
It is built up enough.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
Try not to do it in the studio.
Yeah.
I'll do my best. I'll
All
do my
right,
best.
thank you.
Shall we wrap this up?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
All right.
I think
Before
we
get
should
into the outro,
nail it shut. Actually,
I just want to say one of my favorite quotes that I've heard recently, and that is, "Try not to take life so seriously. None of us make it out alive anyway."
Nice.
And you out there, what are your thoughts on death, the afterlife, and everything else we talked about? We want to know. Do you believe in what we believe? Do you believe in something completely different? Do you think we're fucking crazy? We want to know. So please do us a favor. Let us know your thoughts on this subject in our comments, as well as on our new Discord server that we are trying to promote and get running and help AJ understand. If you like what we're doing, we got ourselves a little Buy Me a Coffee link in our description, and you can throw some money there to help pay for Bubblies to help with the belching and keep the lights on and all that good stuff. And if you're out there and you're not feeling well in the mental department, and this episode didn't do anything for you, we understand. But we want you to know that you matter, not just to us, but to those around you. It's important to talk about that stuff in your head, just like we're doing here. So please, you can't reach out to anybody that's around you. We have links in our description so you can go and seek out some of the help that you might need. But until next time, I've been Harvey.
I'm the Dave.
I've been and still am, and always will be, AJ.
Very nice.
You know what would have
That
been
was
really
nice.
great? If you just outro with nothing. You just silence on am.
I'm AJ. Take care. all.
Thanks so much, guys, for joining us. You got yourself sarcastically distracted. Have a great night. Peace.
Hey.